There are a lot of cards in Marvel Snap that really suck. So let's take a look at the top 5 cards that I think need to be buffed. Coming in at number 5, we have M'Baku. Now, if this is in your deck at the end of the game, it jumps to a random location. So I think that they need to give this a power upgrade, so maybe like a 1-3 or a 1-4, just so that when it jumps out of your deck, it actually has some meaningful difference in winning a location with power. I also feel like they should balance it so that it only jumps out of your deck at the end of the game, so maybe kind of make it like America Chavez where you can only draw it on turn 6, but in this case it jumps out at the end of the game guaranteed, so that you're not always drawing it, because I've had a lot of games where it's been drawn and I can't do anything with it. It's just a dead card. So maybe they balance it to make it where it always guarantees to jump out at the end of the game. Coming in at number 4, we have Adam Warlock. At the end of each turn, if you are winning this location, draw a card. So I feel like they should just straight up give him like a 2 power buff or 3 power buff, so that when you actually play this, you have a chance of winning a location and being able to use his ability by drawing a card. I really don't think they need to rework this card. I think they just need to straight up give him a power buff, because then you can actually use his ability. Otherwise, he's really not used that often, at least from where I am in my rank level. Otherwise, yeah, I think that would be a great buff for him, because he's never used really often, and that could really add a new dimension to card draw in Marvel Snap. Coming in at number 3, we have the 3-cost Gambit. Unrevealed, discard a card from your hand, destroy a random enemy card. So I feel like they could just give him a 2 power buff and just make him a 3-3. I think he has a really unique ability. It's a very aggressive ability, and I feel like people don't really utilize it because it's only giving you 1 power. So I feel like this is really only used in like a negative destroy deck to make him a 1-3. Otherwise, you don't really see Gambit too often unless it's in like a Wong Odin type style where it's destroying multiple cards. So, or they could just keep his power and make him a 2. I don't think he needs a rework overhaul. He just needs some sort of cost reduction or power increase. Coming in at number 2, I really wanted to have him at number 1, but he's not really that big of a card in the game. So he's in at number 2. We have Omega Red. Ongoing. If you're ahead by 10 power plus 4 power to other locations. He has a really unique ability. I feel like he could either get a cost reduction, make him a 3-5, so then he's viable with Surfer to meet that need of 10 power. So a cost reduction could definitely help with him getting a boost to acquire this 10 power need to get 4 power in other locations. Silver Surfer would help with that, or they can reduce the 10 power that's needed to get the plus 4 power in other locations. I've been really wanting a buff for Omega Red for a while now. I haven't really been seeing anyone else ask for it, but they're reworking all these other cards that are never used, like Medusa got a power increase in her on reveal ability, and Dazzler got a complete rework. So I'd really like to see this with Omega Red. I feel like then it could add a lot of spice to ongoing decks or just straight up power slam decks. And at number 1, the card that beat out my biased pick of Omega Red that I wanted at number 1 is Snow Guard. While in your hand, this transforms each turn into a hawk or a bear. A hawk, on reveal, ignore all location abilities next turn. The bear, on reveal, trigger the effect of this location. So these are very niche on reveals that don't ever affect a game. It's very rare where you can get a Snow Guard to really sway the tide of a match, and I don't even have this card, and I know this needs to be changed because everyone in the community wants it. So I feel like this is probably their number 1 card to look at, because it's kind of a newly released card, but it's been in for a couple months now, I believe. So I think they just need to do a complete overhaul of this card, complete rework, text change, everything. They need to absolutely fix this card. It is horrible. I don't know if they like make the on reveal trigger the effect of the location and ignore the abilities next turn. I don't know how they really rework this card and just strip it down to the studs, basically. It's a card that needs to be severely looked at for sure. So those were my top 5 cards that I think that they need to buff in Marvel Snap. Hopefully they get working on that. I know it's going to be a few weeks until the next balance patch comes out. No OTAs for at least the next 2 weeks. So hopefully they have something in store for buffing these cards that I have on my list. Obviously this is my opinion. I don't think these are very meta defining cards, but I'd like to see them get reworked or buffed so then they can be a lot more viable than they are now. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below on who should be buffed in Marvel Snap. Bye.